Welcome to the annual quilt show, hosted by the ladies of the Fulton County Quilt Club. It's held every Full Folk Festival, which is the third weekend in October in our area. And we hang about at least 100 quilts, and we have a featured quilter. I want to take you along and show you what we had in store for you this year. And before you ask, I wasn't able to get a quilt done for this show, but hopefully next year we'll have one.
I bought this pattern because quilt patterns are so expensive, and this one was on clearance. And I like to do handwork. So I did all the blocks, and 2 of the blocks I got online, and then I drew them myself and made them for the quilt. And the other reason why I wanted to do this quilt is because I've never done half square triangles or
Flying geese.
Flying geese. So I wanted to try that.
Lots of work, Leslie.
Yes, it was.
Beautiful.
But I liked it. I liked doing it.
I'm not going to even ask you how many hours you put in this quilt.
I don't know.
I
don't keep track.
That's one thing you don't ask a quilter. Well, I hope this video gives your quilt justice. This quilt was our annual raffle quilt. We raffle off a quilt every year to help raise funds to be able to make quilts for veterans in our area. Pam C. of McConnellsburg won our quilt this year. Congratulations.
This is a quilt that my friend pieced, the yellow and white part. And she said, I don't know why I'm doing this. I have a blue and white one. I should give it away. And I said, well, I'll take it. So I took it, brought it home. I did a turquoise border and the yellow border. And then I decided, well, I got this far. I like the quilting. And it came out beautiful.
This year, we unfortunately had 4 members of our quilt club pass away, and this quilt was one made by Virginia. She had it half quilted before she let the ladies of the quilt club finish it for her, and we worked very hard to get it done for her before she passed away. And very sadly, she passed away 2 days after we handed it back to her. Yes, I'm choking up just talking about it. This was a beautiful quilt, and this video probably does not give it justice.
This is Virginia Cantner's quilt. She pieced it, and she wasn't able to quilt it because her health was failing. So the quilt club quilted it for her, and it was to be her daughter Paula's. And Virginia had marked the quilt, but she missed putting a heart in one of the corners. So it's appropriately named The Missing Heart. And Virginia Cantner is our missing heart.
This quilt is from the early 1900s, and it's been being shown by Randy and Belinda Richards of Harrisonville. This quilt is being shown by May Bear. The fabric was given to her by Quilt Club members, and it was just a fun piece. This is a smaller quilt by Jean Price and quilted by Cindy Leslie. Cremation. This is another quilt by May Bear. And to give this quilt justice, I have to get in close. Look at all these 1-inch squares formed into triangles. And it's hand quilted, or machine quilted actually. Yeah, machine quilted. This quilt is by Sherry Taylor. This quilt is by Carolyn Curline and is called Hexy Kisses. This quilt was pieced by Angela Roman, and I really like the ombre effect on this quilt. This is another quilt by May Bear, and as you can tell from the top, the blocks just gradually get smaller. She starts with 4-inch blocks at the top. Then she goes to 2-inch squares down to 1-inch squares. And then there's applique at the bottom here. This is a fun little quilt that Carolyn Curline put together for her granddaughter, I believe. I just love all the safari animals on it. Then the reindeer is an applique quilt done by Sharon Snyder, and it's all applique, and it's also quilted in like 1/2-inch squares. Crosshatch is very nicely done. This quilt also is done by Sharon Snyder. This wedding ring quilt is done by Esther Malott. This cat quilt is put together by Sharon Snyder. Another applique quilt. This quilt was put together by Thorletta Malott. This is another fun quilt by Angela Roman. This is a quilt by our star quilter, Karen Whitmer.
She's doing pretty good.
This is another quilt by Karen Whitmer, our star feature quilter. This quilt right in front of you was pieced by Maybear's grandmother, and Maybear is 84, I believe. So this quilt has to be old if it was for Maybear when she was a baby. This table runner of the 3 cats was paper pieced by my mother-in-law, who's probably only paper pieced once or twice in her life. And it was part of our challenge for the year. We all decided to pick crayons out of a box and use those 3 colors in a quilt along with 1 neutral. I think my mother-in-law did pretty well for her cats. They are quite interesting characters. The quilts you see here will be given out on Veterans Day. We make 11 quilts a year and hand them out to local veterans in our area.
quilt was made by Anna Park, who lived in South Tilla, Pennsylvania. Her granddaughter lives in Fulton County, and she inherited this quilt. Anna made many, many beautiful quilts and always won blue ribbons. When Anna passed, I inherited all her scraps and her quilting supplies, and I have the scraps from this beautiful quilt. Hopefully, I'll be able to make something beautiful, maybe as beautiful as this one.
I got this quilt at an auction, and because I really liked it, and I've been using it to decorate my house ever since.
And it's hand quilted, of course.
It's a happy looking quilt.